Have you ever wondered how different your life could be if you had learned some key life lessons earlier? In ancient Greece, there was a renowned philosopher named Socrates, known for his wisdom and profound insights. One day, a young man approached Socrates and asked, "Great teacher, what is the secret to living a good and fulfilling life?" Socrates led the young man to a nearby river and walked into the water. Curious but determined, the young man followed. Suddenly, Socrates grabbed the young man and pushed his head underwater. The young man struggled, desperate for air, and just before he could no longer hold his breath, Socrates released him. Gasping for air, the young man asked, "Why did you do that?" Socrates replied calmly, "When you were underwater, what did you want more than anything?" "Air," the young man answered. Socrates nodded and said, "When you desire wisdom and understanding as much as you desired air, then you will find the key to living a good life." This story highlights the importance of seeking wisdom and understanding with the same intensity and commitment as one would seek air to breathe. It sets the stage for the valuable lessons we often wish we had learned earlier in life. Now, let's explore these lessons and how they can shape our lives for the better. In this video, we delve into 7 essential lessons that many men wish they had learned earlier in life. These lessons, grounded in timeless wisdom and practical insights, can transform how we approach challenges, relationships, and personal growth. So, let's get started on this path to a more thoughtful and fulfilling life. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. In a bustling ancient city, there lived a young man named Leo who was known for his exceptional skill in woodworking. Leo had a deep passion for crafting intricate furniture and sculptures, pouring his heart and soul into every piece he created. One day, as Leo was working on a particularly ambitious project, a grand wooden statue commissioned by the city's ruler, a powerful storm swept through the city. The raging winds and torrential rain threatened to destroy everything in its path, including Leo's workshop. Panicked and distraught, Leo frantically tried to secure his workshop and protect his work in progress. But despite his efforts, the storm wreaked havoc, damaging his tools and scattering his materials. As Leo surveyed the wreckage, a sense of helplessness washed over him. He had invested so much time and energy into the statue, only to see it ruined by forces beyond his control. Just then, an elderly woodworker named Marcus appeared, offering Leo a comforting smile. Marcus had witnessed the devastation and understood Leo's frustration. Sitting beside him amidst the debris, Marcus shared a tale from his own youth. Many years ago, Marcus began, "I too faced a similar storm that destroyed my workshop and ruined my prized creations. In that moment of despair, I learned a valuable lesson that has guided me ever since." He continued, "I realized that while I couldn't control the weather or prevent disasters from happening, I could control my response to them. I could choose to lament the loss and dwell on the things beyond my control, or I could focus on what I could do to rebuild and move forward." Inspired by Marcus's wisdom, Leo took a deep breath and looked around his workshop with fresh eyes. Instead of dwelling on the damage, he focused on salvaging what he could and began planning his next steps. He repaired his tools, salvaged the usable materials, and reimagined his vision for the statue. In the weeks that followed, Leo poured his energy into his work, channeling his frustration into creativity and determination. With each careful stroke of his chisel and each meticulous detail he carved, the statue began to take shape once again. And though it was different from his original vision, it was imbued with a newfound resilience and spirit. As Leo proudly unveiled his restored masterpiece, a symbol of triumph over adversity, the city marveled at his craftsmanship and resilience. And though the storm had taken its toll, it had also taught Leo a valuable lesson: that in the face of life storms, focusing on what you can control is the key to resilience and renewal. This shift in focus helps you make better daily decisions and fosters personal growth. As Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." By adopting this mindset, you'll find greater clarity and calm in your daily life, enabling you to handle challenges more effectively and with less stress. Lesson 2. Accepting impermanence. In a serene village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a wise old man named Accio. Despite his age, Accio was known for his youthful spirit and profound wisdom, which he shared generously with the villagers. One day, a young boy named Hero approached Accio with a troubled expression. "Old man," Hero said, "why do things always change? Why can't everything stay the same forever?" Accio smiled gently and motioned for Hero to sit beside him on a weathered bench overlooking a tranquil pond. With a twinkle in his eye, Accio began to tell Hero a story, a tale passed down through generations in the village. "Long ago," Accio began, "there was a mighty oak tree that stood tall and proud at the edge of the village. Its branches reached high into the sky, providing shade and shelter to all who sought refuge beneath its canopy. The villagers cherished the oak tree, believing it to be eternal and unchanging. But one fateful day," Accio continued, "a powerful storm swept through the village, tearing through the landscape with its ferocious winds and torrential rain. Despite the villagers' efforts to protect it, the oak tree was uprooted and toppled to the ground, its once mighty trunk splintered and broken." Hero listened intently, his eyes wide with curiosity. "Why did the tree have to fall?" he asked. Accio nodded thoughtfully. "The oak tree fell because it had fulfilled its purpose," he explained. "Its roots had grown deep into the earth, drawing sustenance and strength from the soil. Its branches had reached for the sky, embracing the sun and the rain. And though it may have seemed tragic, the tree's fall marked the beginning of a new cycle, a cycle of growth, decay, and rebirth." He paused for a moment, letting his words sink in. "Just like the oak tree," Accio said softly, "our lives are marked by impermanence. The seasons change, the tides ebb and flow, and all things must eventually come to an end. But in embracing impermanence, we can find peace and serenity amidst life's uncertainties. We can cherish each moment for what it is, knowing that nothing lasts forever." As Hero gazed out over the pond, the ripples on its surface seemed to shimmer with newfound meaning. And in that moment, he understood that acceptance of impermanence was not a sign of weakness, but a testament to the beauty and resilience of life itself. This mindset shift can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced life. As the ancient philosopher Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river and he is not the same man." By internalizing this wisdom, we can navigate the ever-changing landscape of life with grace and resilience. Lesson 3. reframing challenges as opportunities. In ancient Greece, there was a young athlete named Alexios who aspired to be the greatest wrestler in his city. He trained tirelessly, dreaming of victory and the glory that would follow. However, during a crucial match, he suffered a severe injury that shattered his hopes of competing for the rest of the season. Devastated and frustrated, Alexios felt like his world had come crashing down. One day, his mentor, an old and wise former athlete named Philo, visited him. Seeing Alexios's despair, Philo shared a story from his own youth. Many years ago, Philo began, I too faced a serious injury that ended my wrestling career prematurely. First, I was crushed much like you are now. But then, I realized I had two choices: to be defeated by this setback or to find new ways to grow. Philo continued, I decided to use this time to study the art of wrestling more deeply. I observed the best wrestlers, learned new techniques, and improved my understanding of the sport. I also began to train younger athletes, sharing my knowledge and experiences with them. This period, which I initially saw as a curse, turned into an opportunity. I became a better coach than I ever was a wrestler, and I found fulfillment in helping others achieve their dreams. Inspired by Philo's story, Alexios decided to shift his perspective. He used his recovery time to study the strategies and techniques of successful wrestlers. He focused on strengthening his mind and body in ways that didn't aggravate his injury. He also started mentoring younger athletes at his gym, sharing his experiences and knowledge. Over time, Alexios not only recovered but also became a more skilled and insightful wrestler. His injury, once seen as a setback, had become an opportunity for growth and learning. When he finally returned to the mat, he was stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. This story illustrates the power of reframing challenges as opportunities. By changing our perspective on adversity, we can transform obstacles into catalysts for personal growth and success. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." By embracing this mindset, we can navigate life's challenges with resilience and turn them into stepping stones for greater achievements. Challenges are not obstacles. They are opportunities for growth and transformation. When we reframe our perspective and view challenges as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, we unlock the potential for profound personal development and achievement. Each obstacle we encounter presents a chance to learn, adapt, and evolve, pushing us beyond our comfort zones and igniting our creativity and resilience. By embracing challenges as opportunities, we harness the power of adversity to propel us toward our goals and aspirations, ultimately shaping us into stronger, wiser individuals. Lesson 4. Practicing gratitude. In a quaint village nestled among lush green hills, there lived a humble farmer named Koji. Despite facing hardships and setbacks, Koji approached life with a heart full of gratitude, finding joy in even the simplest of blessings. One day, a weary traveler passing through the village stopped to rest near Koji's farm. Impressed by Koji's serene demeanor, the traveler asked, "How do you maintain such a positive outlook despite the challenges you face?" With a warm smile, Koji invited the traveler to join him for a cup of tea beneath the shade of a sprawling cherry blossom tree. As they sat together, Koji shared a tale passed down through generations in the village. a story that illustrated the power of gratitude. Long ago, Koji began. There was a wealthy merchant who possessed great riches but lacked contentment. He spent his days chasing after wealth and status, always longing for more. Despite his wealth, the merchant felt empty and unfulfilled. One day, Koji continued, the merchant embarked on a journey to seek the secret to true happiness. Along the way, he encountered a wise sage who lived in a simple hut deep in the forest. Curious, the merchant sought the sage's counsel. The sage listened patiently to the merchant's woes and then offered him a simple challenge, Koji explained. For 7 days, the merchant was to practice gratitude for the blessings in his life, no matter how small. Intrigued, the merchant accepted the challenge and returned home to begin his practice of gratitude. Each day, he took time to reflect on the abundance surrounding him, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of children, the beauty of nature. With each expression of gratitude, the merchant's heart grew lighter and his spirit lifted. After 7 days, Koji concluded. The merchant returned to the sage, transformed by his experience. He realized that true wealth and happiness were not found in material possessions, but in the simple joys of life, the gifts we often take for granted. As the traveler listened to Koji's story, he felt a profound sense of gratitude welling up within him. He realized that, like the merchant, practicing gratitude could bring light and joy into even the darkest of days. In essence, practicing gratitude means taking time each day to appreciate the blessings in our lives, no matter how small. By cultivating an attitude of gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. Lesson 5. Mindfulness and presence. In a bustling city filled with noise and chaos, there lived a young woman named May who felt constantly overwhelmed by the demands of modern life. Despite her best efforts to stay organized and productive, May often found herself feeling stressed and scattered. One day, while wandering through a tranquil park in the heart of the city, May stumbled upon a wise old monk meditating beneath a sprawling cherry blossom tree. Intrigued by the monk's serene presence, May approached him and asked, "How do you remain so calm and centered amidst the chaos of the world?" The monk smiled warmly and motioned for May to join him on the grass. As they sat together in silence, the monk began to share a story, a tale that would forever change May's perspective on mindfulness and presence. Long ago, the monk began. There was a young prince who lived in a magnificent palace surrounded by wealth and luxury. Despite having everything he could ever want, the prince felt a deep sense of emptiness and longing. Determined to find true happiness, he embarked on a journey to seek enlightenment. During his travels, the monk continued, the prince encountered a wise guru who taught him the art of mindfulness and presence. The guru explained that true peace and happiness could only be found in the present moment, free from the burdens of the past and the worries of the future. The prince devoted himself to the practice of mindfulness, learning to fully immerse himself in the beauty of each moment. Whether he was eating a meal, walking in nature, or engaging in conversation, the prince remained fully present, savoring the richness of life. As he deepened his practice, the monk concluded, the prince discovered a profound sense of peace and contentment that transcended worldly pleasures. He realized that true happiness could be found within, in the simple act of being fully present. As May listened to the monk's story, she felt a sense of clarity and calm wash over her. She realized that, like the prince, she had been seeking happiness in all the wrong places. External achievements, material possessions, and future goals. True peace, she realized, could only be found by cultivating mindfulness and presence in each moment. In essence, mindfulness and presence entail being fully engaged and aware of the present moment, free from distractions and preoccupations. By practicing mindfulness, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment, no matter what challenges life may bring. Lesson 6. Valuing inner virtue over external success. In a bustling marketplace filled with merchants and traders, there lived a young man named Taro who dreamed of achieving great wealth and fame. Taro believed that success could only be measured by material possessions and external accomplishments, and he dedicated himself tirelessly to achieving these goals. One day, as Taro was negotiating a lucrative business deal, he encountered an old sage sitting quietly in a secluded corner of the marketplace. Curious, Taro approached the sage and asked, "Wise one, what is the secret to achieving success and fulfillment in life?" The sage gazed at Taro with a knowing smile and motioned for him to sit beside him on a weathered bench. As they sat together, the sage began to share a tale, a story that would forever change Taro's perspective on success and happiness. Long ago, the sage began. There was a wealthy merchant who possessed great riches and power. He lived in a grand mansion filled with treasures from around the world, and he was admired and envied by all who knew him. But despite his wealth and success, the merchant felt a deep sense of emptiness and dissatisfaction. The merchant sought counsel from a wise philosopher who lived in the nearby mountains. The sage continued. The philosopher taught him that true happiness could not be found in external possessions or accomplishments, but in cultivating inner virtue and wisdom. The merchant took the philosopher's words to heart and embarked on a journey of self-discovery and inner growth. He devoted himself to practicing kindness, compassion, and generosity toward others, finding joy in the simple act of giving without expecting anything in return. As the merchant's inner virtue flourished, the sage concluded, he discovered a profound sense of fulfillment and contentment that far surpassed any material wealth or external success. He realized that true happiness could only be found within, in the richness of the human spirit. As Taro listened to the sage's story, he felt a sense of awakening wash over him. He realized that he had been chasing after success and validation in all the wrong places: external achievements, material possessions, and the approval of others. True fulfillment, he realized, could only be found by cultivating inner virtue and wisdom. In essence, valuing inner virtue over external success entails prioritizing qualities such as kindness, compassion, integrity, and wisdom over material wealth and worldly accomplishments. By focusing on cultivating these inner virtues, we can find lasting happiness and fulfillment, regardless of our external circumstances or achievements. Lesson 7. Understanding the power of perspective. In a picturesque village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young artist named Maya who possessed a unique gift for seeing the world through different lenses. Maya had a collection of colorful lenses, each representing a different perspective. One for joy, one for sorrow, one for gratitude, and so on. One day, as Maya was exploring the village, she encountered a group of villagers gathered around a broken wagon wheel, lamenting their misfortune. The villagers grumbled and complained, seeing only the inconvenience and hardship of the situation. Curious, Maya approached the villagers with a gentle smile. "What seems to be the trouble?" she asked. One of the villagers sighed heavily. "Our wagon will broke, and now we're stranded here with no way to transport our goods to the market," he explained. "It's a disaster." Maya nodded thoughtfully and reached into her bag, pulling out her colorful lenses. She carefully selected her perspective lens and held it up for the villagers to see. As the villagers looked through the lens, their expressions began to change. They saw not just a broken wagon wheel, but an opportunity for teamwork and cooperation. They realized that by working together, they could repair the wheel and strengthen their bonds as a community. Inspired by Maya's perspective, the villagers set to work, gathering tools and materials to fix the wagon wheel. With each turn of the wrench and each hammer blow, they felt a sense of unity and purpose that transcended their initial frustration. As the sun began to set, the villagers stood back to admire their handiwork. The wagon wheel was repaired, stronger than ever before, and the villagers felt a profound sense of accomplishment and camaraderie. As Maya watched the villagers celebrate their success, she smiled knowingly. She understood the power of perspective, the ability to see challenges as opportunities, obstacles as stepping stones, and setbacks as catalysts for growth. In essence, understanding the power of perspective means recognizing that how we perceive a situation shapes our experience of it. By choosing to see the world through a lens of optimism, resilience, and gratitude, we can transform even the most difficult circumstances into opportunities for growth and transformation. As we journey through life, let us remember the wisdom of these lessons and the transformative power they hold. Each day presents us with opportunities to embody these principles and shape our experiences accordingly. Let us strive to focus on what we can control, embrace the impermanence of life, and reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. May we cultivate gratitude for the blessings in our lives and practice mindfulness and presence, finding peace and contentment in the present moment. Let us prioritize inner virtue over external success, recognizing that true fulfillment comes from within. And as we navigate life's twists and turns, may we always remember the power of perspective, the ability to see the world through a lens of optimism, resilience, and gratitude. By applying these lessons in our daily lives, we can cultivate resilience, foster personal growth, and find greater meaning and fulfillment in our journey.